Hey everyone, we are checking out one of my players' serves and he's really made a great transformation on it, and we are going to check out what he's doing better with his body and then also how his swing is a little bit more efficient, which is resulting in racket speed. So let's go ahead, let's dive right in. We'll watch it first in half speed, then we'll watch it one more time in regular speed. And now let's watch in regular speed. All right, let's do it. So on the left, obviously we have the before of where Robin was serving. And this is a pretty common mistake I see with players who are using the step up, meaning the step up is where the back foot will come up to load the body into the contact. And what I see happening is that many players put their right foot to the outside of their body. And you know, we always say there's no right or wrong way to hit. There's efficient and inefficient, and that also you'll see plenty of players playing at a high level who bring their right foot to the outside of their left foot. But what that tends to do for, you know, players who don't have maybe as much mobility as a professional player is that it really impacts their ability to separate. So if we look at Robin's body on the left here, his hips are along this angle and his shoulders are there as well. So he's already pretty much open to the court. So his toes point towards the net post, his knees are already at the net post, and then his hips and shoulders are pretty much aligned. He's open at the contact, okay? Oh, excuse me, he's open before the contact, before he starts to move his racket fast into the contact. And really, if we look at where he is on the right, you can see that he's turned his hips this way more than we see on the left, and then his shoulders have turned a little bit more than his hips. So essentially he's created separation so he can unwind into the hits. So he's storing energy with his body here so that he can unwind upwards and outwards into the hit. And what I really recommend to players who are newish to the game, and when I say newish, I mean like really the first 3 or 4 years, is the step up is more of a quote unquote advanced technique. You know, there's no really such thing as advanced techniques, but I would recommend you really learn to coordinate your toss, learn to serve with a true continental grip, learn the appropriate swing, then you can start thinking about stepping up into the serve. I see too many players at the club level, they are just, you know, rushing through. They might be watching YouTube videos of their favorite pros and they see that, oh, he or she steps up, I'm going to give it a shot. You know, there's interesting research on this. For example, Dr. Bruce Elliott talks about external rotation into internal rotation accounting for about 40% of serve speed. Mark Kovac talks about the role of the back hip of storing energy and then how quickly you can get that energy out of the body and through basically the segments of your body into contact. And if we look at really what Mark Kovac speaks about, look at where Robin's hip is here and look at where it is here. So you want that energy going up and then twisting around to the right into the contact. You can see here he's already opened his hips versus here, look at how his back hip is rising into the contact. Yes, obviously it's rising as well on the right here, but there's not as much range on the left. On the right, it's really coming from a loaded position into that contact. So really what I recommend is if you're struggling with your step up motion is depending on how advanced of a player you are, is just to take it away for a while you kind of master how to load your body, how to position your body well, and then you can add it back in. By no means do I say you shouldn't step up. Some of the best servers in the world step up as well. And the other thing I want to show you is just how Robin is getting a little bit more racket speed with his swing. We've synced these videos so that we see contact occurring at the same time. Now, speed equals distance over time, right? So if you can get the racket traveling further over less time, that means it's traveling faster. So if we look on the left, notice his, you could say, racket drop. It's fairly shallow. That's another issue kind of we might be working away on, is just how shallow it is and how he opens the racket here. Now, if we look on the right, you'll notice that the racket travels further, okay? So from here, you'll see the racket comes away and then upwards into, essentially, because the racket is traveling further in the same period of time, that means it has to be traveling faster, right? And, it's all related. He's able to achieve more range in what his racket's doing because he's now setting his body up more appropriately. We can see that his elbow is on the left side of his body, which is really what you want, versus here it's on the right side. And it's all related. If the toes don't turn, the knees can't, the hips can't, the shoulders can't. So a few things for players who are wanting to improve their serve. If they do have a step up, I really do recommend taking it away for some time. But if you want to stay with the step up, when you step up, you have to teach yourself to bring your back foot into the instep here. So what does that mean? That means you need to train your right arch to come to your left heel. Your knees also should be pointing a little bit more to the right. So we can say roughly to the side fence versus to the net post, and that'll just allow you to get in a similar position as Robin is here, where his knees point out to the right. So there you go. Hope that helped with improving your serve. I just want to say great job to Robin. He really understood what it takes to improve, at least on the serve, where we would cover a concept or an idea and he would go away and work on it in his own time, and then he'd come back and he'd have moved along a little bit more. We'd work on the same concept again, and then 3 weeks later we'd transition to the next one. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it and hope you got something out of it, and I'll see you soon. If you're still here, just check out my video analysis. The link is in the description, along with information on virtual private lessons, and there's also a free email course in there. Thanks again. See ya.